Good morning, and thanks for waking up with the Chase. I am Troy Castro along. It's actually a little crowded here today. I got 3 co-hosts today.
We have no space.
0 space. We are packed in like sardines, but actually aesthetically, it looks really nice on the screen.
It really does, honestly.
The matching red shirts.
Yeah,
Yes.
Did you guys call each other?
absolutely.
So for those of you who don't know, these are our friends Tom Hughes and Tyler BIELEC from Hit Parade. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk to them a little later in the show about what Hit Parade is, what they got going on. But we wanted to have you on this to start. We figured, why not just get a whole panel in here while we're going, eh?
Yeah.
What do
Why
you
not?
Oh,
they're
yeah.
looking spiffy too.
They dressed up for us.
Yes.
They 100. Listen, this is not how they look all the time. Okay,
Yeah.
so they 100% dressed up for today.
They shine brighter under these lights. So
Shine bright like diamonds.
there we go.
Oh, hey. Before you get to that, yeah, good close up.
Oh yeah, yeah. My artwork is no longer needed. We now have the Chase coffee mugs.
Go ahead, bring it back. Look at that. Woo!
Looks even better on camera.
Oh,
Looks so nice.
here you want a good image? Here you go. Here you go, Dave.
Is there actually something in it? Do a little ASMR.
Beautiful.
Do a little ASMR. So guys, I don't know if you've been watching. I know you guys are super busy, but something we like to start off with is Dave gives us some motivation of the day.
You
He
know,
gives us a quote of the day.
It's
Oh,
just
I love
the
it.
way I like to start my morning. So, every day we have a quote of the day here at Dave and Adams. Leadership is an action, not a position. For all you young kids looking to be captains out there, leadership is an action,
Who said
not a
that?
position. Donald McGannon.
Thank you, Donald, for those wise words. Do you guys feel inspired now?
I think I do.
I am ready to run through a wall.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Right through the brick wall. Well, we do have a great show, so why don't we get to it? Like I said, Tyler and Tom are here. They'll be here to talk Hit Parade a little later on in the show, and also we'll do some NHL Draft with them. As well, PSA is lifting the ban. You good?
Yeah, I'm throwing stuff around here.
You're just tossing it around? He's excited to have Tom and Tyler here
Yeah,
today.
a little flustered.
So PSA is lifting the ban on grading the star basketball cards, starting with the 84-85 set. That includes the Michael Jordan extended rookie card. I know that's a point of contention, so we'll be talking about that a little later on. And then, of course, a preview of the NHL Draft, and we have a fun little segment we want to do with some of the signatures of the players. But we're going to start with the giveaway from last Friday. Remember, this is the one where you had to comment America. So can I get a drum roll, please? Maybe from everybody? Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, our winner is Carson Moore. Carson Moore, congratulations. There it is right there. Meerkat picked you this morning randomly. Make sure you are sending your shipping information and an email to thechase@dacardworld.com. If you're not familiar with what we broke on Friday, you're going to be walking away with the 2022 Chronicles Draft Picks Football 101. Matt Corral. I said Coral. I was wrong. Meerkat helped me out. He corrected me.
You were
I
excited.
can ask around.
I was.
Excited. Something's happened.
It was genuine excitement. So it's Matt Golden Corral.
Golden Corral,
There you go.
baby.
All right, so there. So make sure you are contacting us, like I said, thechase@dacardworld.com, and we'll have your cards ready for you once you give us your shipping information and email. All right, next up, we're going to let you know what is hitting shelves this week. First off, we have the 2021-2022 Prism Panini Basketball. That's going to be on Friday. 2 autographs per box, 22 prisms per box, 10 inserts per box, and also look for hobby exclusive rookie signatures, as well as the black, gold, and Mojo prisms. Obviously, that's the class from last year. Cade Cunningham, Mobley, Scotty Barnes, and more. Are you guys excited for that to come out?
It's always a huge release. I mean, obviously everyone looks forward to Prism basketball, but I'm curious to see kind of where all the rookies stack up in their resale value and everything like that.
Yeah, Scotty Barnes had a great year. Cunningham.
Rookie of the year.
Yeah, Cunningham, he's stuck in Detroit, not a great team, but the kid can play. I think the guy, is going to be a perennial all-star. and I think we'll be talking about him as one of the better players in the league. So excited to see those guys, getting their Prism cards.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know Prism is a big thing for you guys. Obviously, I know it's a highly sought after card. The different parallels, the different colors, the signatures, obviously, even the graded rookies too. And you guys actually have a Prism set, correct? That you put together?
We have a rookie set.
Rookie set, right?
Yep. So basically, all the rookies from depends on the sport, but we basically make products with any of the rookies that we have, but specifically just rookies.
Who do you think you're really that Prism class? Who do you think you're really going to be chasing after?
And why is it Evan Mobley?
I know a little bit of a biased Cavs fan over here, but it's kind of tough because in the past few years leading up to it, there was definitely that guy that everyone was looking to get. And this year, I think it's kind of like a by committee group, but I truly think it's gonna be Scotty Barnes. Just being in the market of Toronto is really good for the hobby, and obviously still Cade Cunningham. Obviously the talent rises above the teams in some times.
I think it's gonna be Cunningham. I think the guy's, like I said, an absolute dynamo. Mobley's problem is a big man. They just don't sell as well.
No, I agree.
You look at Ayton for the Suns.
Yeah.
Did great. Had good regular seasons. Went to the finals 2 years ago. Just doesn't quite have the same resale value usually as the guards and wings.
No, yeah, and it kind of goes back to like the football talk that we had, where like the defensive players don't sell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the big guys usually don't sell too much either.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because I feel like Tim Duncan, not necessarily a big name, obviously a lot of cards out there, but I feel like sometimes not necessarily as collectible as some of the other, big names in that.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, but part of it, Tim Duncan didn't sign as much.
Right.
So his value is usually really good because of the rarity of his autographs.
Yeah.
We kind of saw that with Barkley in the last few years. He hadn't signed in over a decade, and then until about like 2018, 2019, and then slowly started signing, and his stuff was through the roof.
Yeah, and I feel like very much with the basketball class, kind of how you guys were just talking by committee. I feel like it's very much that way with the football too, just because this past class very, very deep.
Every class in football is going to be basically quarterback dependent. Last year you have 5 quarterbacks in the first round. That's great for the class. Be interesting this year. You have a little bit of a weaker quarterback class to see how things go. But you never know. You have a wide receiver. DK Metcalf kind of threw that year up for a little bit. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And, real quick, being our card guys, I wanted to talk. So last night, Chet Holmgren made his debut in the Summer League, and what a stat line right there, right, for his first game. 23 points, 7 rebounds, 6 blocks, 4 assists, 4 for 6 from the 3-point. So, I mean, are you guys, obviously we're not there yet. We're still getting some Cade Cunningham, Scotty Barnes stuff, but are you looking forward to him coming out in this year's products or the upcoming class?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's to be a good NBA player. I have a little bit of bias. I'm a Duke guy, so I'm always going to cheer for my Duke guys in the pro. So,
I think he was the best NBA prospect this year. Paulo?
I think he's the most NBA ready. I think he's going to be the one that steps in and has the biggest impact year one. I think Holmgren, if he can put it together, I think he has probably the best ceiling because of his size, because of his ball handling abilities, because of his shooting.
He's the complete package.
Yeah, he might have a higher ceiling, but I think there's obviously a little bit more risk with him.
Yeah. It's just cool to see. His highlight reel from last night was he was literally all over the floor. It was great.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And you want to know something? It's funny. I feel like he's one of those guys. Chip on his shoulder, very cocky, but obviously can back it up.
Yeah.
Apparently he's going to have 7 blocks tonight. Did you hear him say, I'm going to break my record again tonight?
Allegedly.
Man, I love it.
We'll see. All right, next up, hitting shelves, 2022 Topps Definitive Collection Baseball. That's hitting shelves today. 6 autographs or autograph relic cards per box. 2 relics per box. Also look for cut signatures. Collect the framed autograph patch collection. And also find dual autograph collection. As you can see, we're looking on the screen here. Our man Dave on the 1s and 2s, Mr. Stevens, showing us what we got. Nolan Ryan right there. Obviously a higher end product. Jeter. How do you guys feel about Derek Jeter's autograph?
One of my favorites.
Is it one of your favorites? Yeah.
So,
Love it.
I do not like the Yankees. I do not like Derek Jeter, but he is one of
Oh.
the better autographs out there for sure.
I'm on that same page. Definitely not a big Yankees fan here, but I have two of my favorite autographs are Derek Jeter and Mariano Rivera. They're
I'm glad you brought it up.
unbelievable autographs.
I'm
Mo's
glad.
good.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Mo, because you got the M and the R, and
They're
it's but it's
perfect.
like nice.
Perfect.
Just clean.
Perfectly straight, perfectly level at all times. It's
And that's the thing
unbelievable.
is like you look at his autograph, you always know because he has very little variation in his autographs. They all look exactly the same, which is great.
Yeah.
Yep. Last but not least, 2021 Leaf Trinity Baseball. That's coming out on July 8th, aka Friday, as well as Prism. If I didn't mention that, Prism Basketball and Trinity are both coming out on Friday. It's a prospect product, and it will feature patches and autographs of the future stars. 6 autograph cards per box in this Leaf product, and you can see up on the screen here, obviously. I think Bobby Witt Jr., great KC patch there. I think that's an extended rookie of Marcelo Mayer. Rooshman up there as well. So definitely some big names coming up in the game right now. How's baseball going? I mean, some names up here obviously right now. Who you guys?
So it's been a little bit of a tough year, I think, for baseball because
Sure.
a lot of these top prospects kind of have stumbled out of the gates a little bit. Spencer Torkelson, the guy looked like he was a surefire thing. He's hitting under the Mendoza line right now. Adley started out slow. Witt started off hot and then kind of hit a lull. So it's been tough, but to me, this is when you buy the guys.
Yeah.
These guys have the pedigree. You know, when they hit the lull, you buy them then, and hope they show what they really are.
Yeah, I completely agree with you because you look at a guy like J-Rod out in Seattle who had a horrible start, and now he's up to like 277, 280, so his value is just rising. And then like Bobby Witt, I know Tyler knows I was lucky enough to get a Bobby Witt rookie auto, and I'm like so torn on what to do with it because he's batting like 245, and he just got hurt last night. So it's just like it's the value is like just so fluctuating. So
I think it's tough with the rookies though, especially like right now. You had like that 4 years where you had Acuna, Soto, Tatis, Vladdy, all of those guys coming out, Bo Bichette, all these big names that have kind of changed the game a little bit in the rookies and the expectations. And these guys are playing. They're playing like rookies.
Yeah.
They're not playing like superstars yet. And
Yeah.
those guys came out and just kind of took that with stride.
But I'll take Vladdy as an example. He started off hot, and then he was bad.
Yeah,
He was out of shape,
half
and
the
his
season, 4
values
years.
plummeted. And if you were smart enough to jump on him when his stuff was low, last year he had, an MVP type season. He's a little bit step back this year, but obviously still one of the premier players. So, these are, to me, are buying opportunities for these guys.
Yeah.
And, yeah. And like Tyler said, I think they really set the standard of what people expect rookies to do when they come up. I mean, they come up, they hit home runs in their first game. They get a couple hits. They're batting 400 in their first 10 games. And then these guys come up probably thinking, oh, I need to bat 700 in my first 10 games, and that doesn't happen. I mean, it's just realistic. You got to adjust to the game when you're a rookie.
Yeah, and you look at Kalanick last year, came out, world on fire.
Oh man.
Pitchers kind of figured him out. That's what happens in the big leagues now. These guys come up, all of a sudden one guy sees a hole in a swing, and now everybody sees it.
Yeah, you're playing against the best in the business.
So then you have to kind of readjust your swing, find your weaknesses. So it's always a learning curve for these guys because a lot of times they're so much better than their competition that they just go up there and just do their thing and they don't have to worry about it. When you get up to the major leagues, these pitchers are that good where if you have any hole in your swing, they're going to find it.
Yeah.
Want to jump into the Twitch chat too while we're talking here. Master Zen, we all know who that is. He must be awaiting still the birth of his first child. He asked who the handsome fellows on the show were.
Oh, it must be you guys.
Yeah, it's got to be you guys.
I don't know. Tyler gives us tough love. I don't think he wants to give us too much credit.
Yeah,
Then our heads get too big and end up on the table,
I'm surprised you didn't ask who the old guy was.
Hobo Fuzz also said, Duke guy, boo this man.
Yes, trust me, we do
Duke.
that enough.
Yeah, listen, Duke is my one team that is like the Yankees or the Red Sox or the Lakers.
Cowboys.
Cowboys, that you either are their fan or you hate them. If you're not a Duke fan, you will not like them. It's just, hey, my grandma's dog name was Duke when I was a kid.
Yeah, so cut him some slack. All right.
I didn't name my grandpa.
It's sentimental. All right, let's just run with it. They'll never know. just run with it. It's very sentimental to him. All right, guys. So take it easy on time.
He definitely made that up.
Also, too, Stephen Emmon here. Shout out to Tyler, who is not with us. Stephen says, "Good luck, Tyler, with the pending arrival, mate." Tyler, the big daddy in waiting. Tyler, I want to know: are you wearing your Air Monarchs that I bought you for your birthday? He's got to be.
I love it.
He's got to be. All right, let's get into Around the Hobby, what's obviously going around, or what's going on in the hobby, excuse me. Back to Leaf. Leaf announced some names for their lineup for the Metal Pop Century. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this set, but, you know, a non-sport here. It's a lot of entertainment. And if you go on Leaf's Twitter, they actually have a whole thread of who they got. But some names I pulled here, some big names. Christina Applegate, Harrison Ford, The Game, and then Robert De Niro.
The Game.
Right?
Oh man,
The Game was cool. I had to add
right?
The Game.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, we're glossing over Harrison Ford, aka Han Solo, aka Indiana Jones. Let's pump the brakes a little bit here.
No, I agree with you. Right? We may have. I was too excited about The Game.
Touch a soft spot,
He
Tom.
jumped over Harrison Ford like he wasn't even there.
No, he's there. But like that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, I saw names like Tyson. I can't pronounce it, but the actor that played Shang-Chi in the movie, he was in there. Oh my God, who else? Tyson, Ric Flair, and Hogan, of course. I know they sign a lot. But definitely a fun product there. You know, to switch it up a little non-sport.
Listen, I'm a big movie guy, big entertainment guy. We talk about shows all the time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we love sports, but you got to have a balance. And, you know.
There's too much good TV out there.
Like I said, I'm a huge Star Wars guy. Harrison Ford, Han Solo, that's my guy. So
we'll get you that for your birthday then. We'll find one. Maybe we'll buy some Pop Metal Century.
They're not cheap.
Hey,
that's all right.
Listen, if you guys got the budget, I'm willing to take Harrison Ford.
Listen, I know where they'll be available.
Look at
they'll
these
be on
mugs.
EACarworld.com.
They got
Yes,
the budgets there.
Yeah.
Well, we budget the polos. You guys budget your polos. We budget coffee mugs. That's how it goes, right? Leaf Pop Metal Century will be later in July. It'll be released and it'll be available. Leaf also, even more news via their Twitter. They're announcing recent football draft picks for their 2022 products. They welcome some early rounders and even some college standouts to the Leaf family. 2022. Be on the lookout for guys like Chris Olave, Aiden Hutchinson, John Mechie III, Quinn Ewers, who is interesting. We'll talk in a second. Sauce Gardner.
Look at the hair.
Can we go back? Sorry, yeah. Can we go back to Quinn Ewers? Look at that.
Jesus.
all
that
that
mullet right there.
all that
Sunshine.
just to lose to Oklahoma.
I feel like he's the long lost son of John Daly. That's like John Daly's mullet in the 90s when he was playing. When he
Well,
was
yeah,
golfing.
prime John.
Yeah, prime John. Exactly.
He probably
He doesn't
could
have a cigarette
pound
in
the
his
ball
mouth,
too.
though.
He
so-
doesn't have a dart hanging from his mouth. Give it time. He's still young. He's still young.
That was a professional picture, guys.
Yeah, exactly, right? He had to have the headshot right there. Quinn Ewers, like we said, Sauce Gardner, and to end it off, Bailey Zappi. So Quinn Ewers, interesting though. He'll be in the Leaf family. Look for his cards, obviously, in their 2022 products. But Texas commit. And then we also saw another Texas commit. So that'll be interesting. Do we buy Quinn Ewers? Do we buy into him now in the Leaf products? Do we let him sit? That's something interesting right there.
I'm gonna abstain from this one.
You know nothing?
I'm an Oklahoma college football fan, so you guys should know how
You
I
got
feel
a lot
about
of Spencer?
Texas. Oh yeah, Spencer,
Yeah, they got a bunch of hands.
Spencer Rattler, yeah, and
Wow.
Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Spencer Rattler, also available, Bowman 2022 University. See, that's segue.
Segue.
That is right there. All right, we're going to bring more around the hobby, but this is going to be at the auction. I love this. So Gem Mint reports via Instagram that the jersey Steph Curry wore in the first half of Game 1 in this year's finals sold via NBA auctions. The final price, more than $200,000. Now, if you remember in that game, Curry hit 6 threes in the first half, against the Celtics, which was a record for any quarter in the finals at that time. There are more items from these finals currently up for auction on NBA auctions. What do you guys think about that? 200.
That's crazy.
I think it was like 203,000 and some change.
Yeah. The game used market is just not something that I'm super familiar with, but it's absolutely astounding to me. Again, it's history. 6 threes in the first quarter.
Right.
I mean, he was it looked like they were gonna sweep him. They just looked unstoppable.
I thought they were going to run away with it,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. But I guess they wanted Boston to have a little bit of fun. They're like, yeah, we'll give you one.
Just toying with them, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And you got to remember, you said that's game one, right?
That was game one.
They lost that game.
Yeah.
They lost
Yeah.
by 12, but obviously the Warriors went on to win in 6 games, and Curry averaged 31.2 points per game, 5 assists, 6 rebounds.
It was the finals.
Only 41.8% from 3. MVP. So
It was nice to see him finally get that MVP.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, Durant was phenomenal when he was there.
Yeah.
But, the Andre Iguodala one is one that it was like, he made some big plays, whatever, but that was one where I almost felt like it should have went to Steph. But it was good to get him finally get him to see his due.
Yeah.
And then
It was a legacy game.
cemented himself probably,
Absolutely.
top 10 player of all time.
And obviously, I'm not a Warriors guy by any means. I'm a Cavs fan and whatever. But to see them kind of fight back from the last couple seasons that they've had, and like all the injuries that between Clay and Curry, and you can even say Wiseman this year, to see them bounce back and get back to the top where they were was honestly kind of a nice comeback story. I hope they don't win next year, but I mean,
Hey,
that's just me.
And you're also talking about it in an incredibly crowded Western Conference.
Exactly.
I mean, they battled through that conference, and like you said, with everything all the adversity they've faced over the last couple of years, it's cool, good to see for sure.
Yeah. Also, the bounce back. I was happy to see Wiggins finally get his due.
Absolutely.
100%.
Guy was a
100%.
super hot prospect. Kind of went to Minnesota where players go to die.
Yeah.
And to finally see him kind of get his due, get to see him play in the playoffs. Offensively was good, but defensively the jobs he did on Tatum and other guys leading up to there. It was good to see him finally kind of reach that plateau and reach the top of his game that he needed to.
And when you think about Wiggins, like he's been a guy that's been toyed with his entire career. I mean, he got drafted by the Cavs at 1, didn't play a single game for the Cavs, got traded for Kevin Love, and then he goes to Minnesota with all these high expectations. Really wasn't the prospect everyone thought he was going to be. He was always a good player, but not the number 1 caliber. And now, he finally goes to Golden State and shows his worth. And obviously, he could have been up there in MVP voting too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was their second best player the whole series.
Absolutely.
Well, I think it's what you're saying too, is where he's not the focal point anymore, right? You're not building a team around him. He's a role player. He's a guy where I feel like now he can relax and just play how he knows to play. And obviously a good Canadian boy, we always root for them. In the chat here, real quick, I wanted to say Stephen M. He gave us a Quinn Ewers 2022's Joe Dirt.
Love it.
I think that's pretty fair. All right, next up, PSA announced that it is finally reopening submissions for the 1984-1985 Star NBA set, which includes the Michael Jordan quote-unquote extended rookie. So this decision is following a 20-plus year ban on subs of this cards. Why? Because there was actually a reprinting of this exact card in the mid-90s. The Michael Jordan extended rookie card was originally issued via mail order team set, and also Star at that time held the exclusive rights to NBA licensed cards in the rookie year. So what say you guys about this? I'm very interested because I saw it's blowing up on Twitter in terms of 86 Fleer, the true rookie, or this 84-85 Star extended rookie card, the true rookie. I mean, what say you guys? I'm very interested in everybody's opinion on this one.
It's really tough, honestly. I mean, in my opinion, the Star card is never going to even come close to the value of the Fleer. And it's almost like talking about a Mantle 51 Bowman versus a 52 Topps.
And that's what people were bringing up.
People love the 51 Bowman, but it's just not the 52 Topps. It's just, They're just in two completely separate categories. They'll never be the same.
Yeah, you know, the iconic card for baseball cards is the 52 Mantle.
Mm-hmm.
The iconic card for basketball is the 86 Flair Jordan.
Absolutely.
And, you know, it's cool that, you know, with the 85 star is out there. It's a cool piece, but it's never going to challenge the 86 Flair. And also, obviously, like we said, with all the reprints, stuff like that, not that there aren't reprints of the 86 Flair.
Oh, yeah.
I think people are always going to kind of be hesitant with that card.
I'm just curious to see what like the first PSA 10 sale goes for.
Yeah.
Someone's going to submit one and someone will pop a 10 and I'm really curious to see it because, I mean, you're talking, it's an old card. It's not like you're going to have a gem rate that's pretty high. So,
Unless it's a reprint.
well, that's true.
And you got to wonder too, to kind of both of your points, you know, there was a reprint, they stopped grading these, you know, how many people got rid of this card?
Yeah.
How many people had this 84,
Yeah.
85 star and just were like,
Especially compared to the 86 Fleer.
Yeah.
What's Pop Report's going to look like after 10, 20, 30 years from now?
yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, there might be a novelty of it at first. You might see some really high sales to start off as the first ones pop because of the novelty of it. But long haul, you know, I don't think it compares to the 86.
In the Twitch chat, Wahoo's, I don't know if you're looking at it.
Uh-huh.
Wahoo's just said 51 is the true Mantle, 86 is the true Jordan. Your thoughts?
It's I mean, again, like I said, I love the 51 Bowman design. It's just, it's super iconic, but you're talking about the 52 top set is arguably the most iconic set in cards.
Right.
In cards. So I just have a hard time agreeing with the 51 Bowman, but.
So I've actually got to buy some 51 Bowman
Yeah,
mantles for some products. So I've a little bit of a soft spot for that. I haven't quite bought a 52 yet for any products, but you know, I've been able to buy some 51s. I'm, you know, baseball wise guy, I am a first Bowman guy more than a Topps flagship rookie guy. I like the prospect cards. So I like Bowman. So I think I'm probably closer to the 51 than most people, but I'd still say it's the 52.
Yeah, and I would say too, not to add more fuel to the fire on both things, but I do know that to keep in mind, 84, 85 star does also have extended rookies of Barkley and Hakeem Olajuwon,
Yeah.
I believe. So both sets obviously match up, but yeah, I mean, just the nostalgia around the Fleer, I can't think you beat it. And if I'm looking in my 2022 brain here, I'm thinking Bowman, more prospect stuff, whereas the Topps, I would think the more actual rookie.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting.
Just wish they made cards for all the rookie years. I mean, instead they had to load up 3-4 years in one class in the 86.
That's right, because
fun.
they didn't have, because that was the first year Fleer had the rights, correct?
Yeah.
They went
Yeah.
a few year period without any real cards, with the exception of obviously the star cards. So
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think it's appropriate. I think it's time to get into why we actually had them on the show, right? Oh, I definitely-
Why are you guys here?
That's all right.
I just wrote blue pen on Tom.
it
I
wasn't.
just
It
straight
wasn't
The pen is
the
blue.
faces.
Listen, I'm used to just waving my arms around and nobody being here. So,
Thursday's my day to shower, so I'm okay.
oh, good,
There you
good.
go.
Yeah, you'll be just in time. So I know you had some questions lined up for them, but obviously, and just we'll just discuss with you guys. But
Yeah.
I'll turn it over to David.
Yeah, awesome. So obviously we brought Tyler and Tom along just to, we want to get to know our boys over at Hit Parade a little bit. So you guys, if you can, just explain to the viewers who might not know, what is Hit Parade, and really explain the affiliation with David Adams.
Okay, so Hit Parade is a subsidiary of Dave & Adams. It was basically a company that Dave & Adams started. God, I can't even tell you how long ago, but
We just had our 6-year, what was it, 6-year anniversary?
Yep. So, but basically we are a repack company who basically we travel. Tom and I and our team basically travels around the country, and sometimes in other countries. Buying cards, acquiring cards, not just cards, memorabilia, comic books, toys. It's really pretty much anything in the collectibles world. And we basically bring them back and we figure out exactly how we want to configure a product, and we will box them up and sell them as a product with very limited print runs. So trying to get everyone that realistic opportunity to hit some of the bigger hits that we supply in the products.
Yeah, I would say on the card side, it's kind of cool because you can have, a Ja Morant rookie and Luka rookie
And a Charles Barkley.
and a Charles Barkley rookie all in the same run. So, it's kind of cool to have things that are across years and chasing different things.
And now, Tyler, I know you talked, you guys just surpassed 6 years for your anniversary. I know a little bit about your guys' history, but I think the viewers would really like to hear this. Talk about from the ground up. Just talk about what it's been like, 6 years ago and how much Hit Parade has grown over that time.
Yeah, so I mean, Tom and I have been doing this for a little over 3 years now, and it was tough because obviously we had this big looming cloud over us with COVID, and we really started to kind of catch our footing after the first 8 months of being on the job, and then we had COVID hit, so it kind of hit that part, and there was times when Tom and I were making products in our living rooms because everything was shut down, and we're just trying to keep the ball rolling because we had momentum. And
I always look at, so we were driving to the Chicago show in the spring. The day after Rudy Gobert had tested positive. We're driving there, and all of a sudden you hear, oh, the NBA's shutting down. And we're driving there, we're like, what is going on? We get to the show floor, and basically everyone's like, we're in a holding pattern because they might cancel the show because there might be an ordinance so you only can have so many people in a room. So we're like, what are we going to do? We just drove all the way to Chicago.
10-hour drive for you guys that don't know.
So we went around and we talked to some of the dealers we knew, some people that we knew in the area, and we're like, hey, if the show's canceled, we'd still like to buy cards. We drove this way. We want to buy stuff. But it was really uneasy. Like, do you buy heavy because things are going to be low now and people are selling cheap? Do you hold back because who knows what the market's going to do if there's no sports? So it was a real crazy time, and to see things kind of explode, a few months later. And we've been changing as it goes. We keep trying to come up with new ideas, new products to evolve as the hobby's evolving. But it's been really cool to see the whole hobby itself get kind of mainstream publicity now. You hear athletes posting about their own cards. You're seeing stuff on Sports Center. You can click, this card sold for this much. So it's cool to see the hobby as it's kind of expanded over the last couple of years.
And I got to ask, because a lot of our guests have said they collected when they were young, they stopped for a little bit, and then during the pandemic, they were like, you know what, let's get back into this. Obviously, the COVID pandemic didn't do a whole lot of good for the country, obviously, but when you look at the hobby, do you feel with everyone not having anything to do, it really kind of kick-started and catapulted the hobby again?
I would absolutely say so. I think the one thing that it did is it made the people that were fringe collectors heavily invested in the hobby. And then obviously you had a lot of those people that go, wow. And I hate to say it, but a lot of this is money driven. Is just prices started to go up. And everyone's like, I can make some money in this. And especially guys, I got some cards in my basement. Let me go look and see. And sometimes they had stuff that was valuable. Because at that point, if everything's increasing in value, the junk wax era of the late 80s even had somewhat of value, just better than it did.
And I think
before.
You also had, obviously breaking is a huge thing.
Yeah.
And you had people, hey, I can't go watch the game tonight, but I can go and watch this person break cards, and I can get into a break. And I think breaking was that gateway to a lot of people getting back into cards. Is, hey, I need something to do. I'm gonna look. Oh, you know what? I'll join this break. I'll buy the Buffalo Bills in this break. Yeah. And all of a sudden you hit a Josh Allen, and all of a sudden next thing you know, you're like, I'm in. I'm in every break. Let's go. It's so
the
funny.
gateway.
It's so funny how.
And it's a cheaper option too.
Yeah,
that's the best
100%.
way. Yeah.
But all it takes is one hit to get you hooked.
And you figure it's probably the one source of entertainment to watch a break that everybody had over the pandemic.
Yeah, and another thing that we mentioned is it's like all those people that sit at home and sports bet. You didn't have any sports to bet on.
Exactly.
So it's like this was the closest comparison to it, is gambling on what's going to come out of the box
Right.
you got. So it was obviously the explosion of the hobby was very good, and it was pretty cool that we got to experience it from this end of it, just to see how the demand for products in general were, and then we could help with that, I guess.
Yeah, and I gotta ask, like, you talked a little bit about it, but how does Hit Parade produce their products? Talk a little bit more about that.
So obviously we are buying all the time, but when we come back, we have kind of going back to the earlier question, but with the growth, there was a time when it was Tom, myself, and our guy Tony doing production, and we were doing the whole process from start to finish. And we're now up to, we have about 20 people working on the Hit Parade card side of it. And now we have them guys kind of doing doing different aspects of the production. So we have basically, when we buy cards, we get them into our inventory system, and we kind of have our own formula, and basically is the best way to put it, of where we kind of come up with exactly how we're going to configure the lines. And then they go back to our production team, who basically cleans everything and puts them in the boxes, presents them in a nice one-touch, seals all the boxes, and then shrink wraps them up. So there's about 3 or 4 different people that touch the cards from the moment we buy them till when they're ready to go and go to the general public.
Awesome. And then I know this might be a tough question to answer, but what makes Hit Parade so unique? What would you say?
Oh, we're gonna pass that to you.
I think there's a couple things. I think one is because we're making products every single day. If Max Scherzer comes back, throws 11 Ks, we can put him as a hit in the product and have it for sale in a couple days. So we try to be very current with our products, with who's going into it. So you're chasing the top guys. Also, I think our buying power allows us to have a good inventory, that when something like that happens, we don't need to go buy a Max Scherzer to be able to put in product. We just go into our back and our inventory, pull out a Max Scherzer and put it in there. So I think just our ability to be very current is a big help. I tell all our employees, especially when we hire them, I can teach you the card industry. I can't teach you to be a sports fan. I want you to know that when you come in today, that Scherzer had 11 Ks, and if I'm making a baseball product, I should put them in there. So I just think that be able to move very quickly, is a big benefit for us.
Yeah, and kind of even to piggyback off that, I think it's also really good to, we kind of have a nice baseline where our customer base kind of knows exactly what to expect. And our product lines in general, as we kind of talked a bunch about the COVID or the pandemic, prices on wax boxes and hobby boxes just absolutely skyrocketed. And we were able to kind of give somebody a little bit of a cheaper alternative to that, where you're still going to be guaranteed a graded rookie card or an autograph card or something along those lines, where you didn't have to buy spend $1,500 on a hobby box, where you can get something a little bit cheaper.
Right. And now, moving forward, do you guys have any big plans for like national or anything like that?
Oh, we love the national.
Yeah. He said that somewhat sarcastic because it's a really long week, but it's such a fun week.
It is. It always has been.
At the end of the day, we're going around and buying, selling sports cards. You can't really complain too much about that, even though the days are long. And we have a big team. It's fun while we're out there. But a couple things we're going to do with the National for the first time. Hit Parade has its own booth by itself.
Nice.
So that's exciting.
Cool.
We are actually bringing in some breakers that we deal with and having some people break at the booth. So it'll be fun to actually have some excitement, some products opening at the booth.
Yeah,
and then we are actually going to do a kids product.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
a lower price point product. Just, as Tyler kind of said with hobby boxes, this hobby is starting to become harder for kids to be in it because it's so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna come up with a product that's a little bit cheaper for them, to try to help. You come there with your kid, you can buy him something, not have to spend $300-400.
Yeah.
Now, is there like a carnival ride? There's like an age limit for who can buy the kids card box.
Yeah.
We could put a height restriction.
Yeah.
On it.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. it's for the kids. The children are our future in the hobby. So
Bring your birth certificates.
you get your other HP stuff. Yeah, exactly. It's like when kids eat free at a restaurant, for their birthday. It's like you got to show something.
Yeah.
You got to show something to get the kids HP product.
Yeah, it needs to be your birthday to get the free Grand Slam at Denny's.
Exactly.
But I guess lastly, just give us a little plug. Where can we find Hit Parade products?
So all of our products can be found on the DA Card World website. You can purchase them right from there. We also have them listed on the hitparadecollection.com website. So you can kind of go find them from either one of those websites. But we have an unbelievable array of products, like I said, from cards to memorabilia to entertainment cards to Funko Pops, comic books. We kind of, like I said, try to do it all. So
Yeah, follow us on Instagram, Hit Parade Collection. We're doing it. We got TikTok now. We're becoming TikTok stars.
You sound like such a boomer. You are such a boomer.
TikTok.
We got the TikTok.
yeah.
They're like, hey, we gotta go do this video for TikTok. I'm like, sure, just tell me what you need me to do. Like, I don't.
He probably calls it like click clack. Yeah, we got a video for the click clack.
It's official. Hit Parade. They do the TikTok.
Exactly.
What a freaking boomer. That was a great Thank you for that. I needed that.
That's what I'm here for.
Real quick before we move on, Jay-Z had a question in the chat for you guys. He just wanted to know.
Jay-Z?
The Jay-Z.
Yes.
Hova's in the chat.
Wow.
It's your boy.
H to the
I texted him I was gonna be on.
Oh, you let him know?
Yeah, I let him know we were gonna be on.
I knew you guys were tight. They want to know, you guys have obviously the F1 series. They want to know, would you possibly be doing a NASCAR HP as well?
So we've discussed it. One of the issues we have with F1 is there's just not a lot of products out there.
Sure.
So it's a little bit more difficult to do. But is that something that we've definitely talked about?
Yeah, that's absolutely probably the next thing on the list, I would say. One thing that we do experience, though, and I will say it, is being obviously based in Buffalo. There are select sports that are not necessarily easy to find fans of. So F1 was definitely one of them. Soccer is another one. It's very difficult to find and have people that have a knowledge base of the market for those. And NASCAR is just not something that we have found that, I guess, person, for the lack of better words, to really kind of headman it. And just so we want to have a little bit of knowledge before we go in and start to make some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the extent of my knowledge is like Jeff Gordon, Bobby Labonte. You give me anybody from like the mid 2000s, Dale Earnhardt, I'm good. You try to ask me like present day, forget about it.
Yeah. No.
Jimmy Johnson, Carl Edwards.
Oh, listen, I don't know anyone. He just ran off 12 people.
I'm just flexing a little bit. That's all I'm saying,
True NASCAR fan.
Yeah, you know me, hardcore Sundays. You know where to find me.
Tom, you got a nice little shout out in the chat from Tyler. He said, "Tom, so old."
Well, good thing
Oh,
is,
here we go.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to let it go. I was going to let it go.
I opened the door.
Yeah,
I opened the door.
When you said that there was a height requirement for the kids, Tyler would be able to buy it still, so we can't do the height requirement.
I knew that was good.
Hey, listen.
He's allowed one a day.
Yeah, one a day.
Speaking of high requirements, Hobo Fuzz says me and Breaker Steve, we can still purchase it if it's a height restriction. Apparently, we're small enough to buy the HP Kids product. I might just buy one and rip it live on here. Then how about that?
Just out of spite.
Just a spite. It's a spite open. How many times do you think somebody has like spite opened a product?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, we got breaking news.
We do.
Tyler said the Air Monarchs are in the suitcase.
Oh, you better be keeping them clean, boy, and
Keep
don't
the
crease
box.
them.
Keep the box.
Don't crease them. Okay, keep them clean until you cut the grass with them, please. I'm asking you.
I think we can get him another pair for the grass cut.
Probably, right? Yeah, get them 2 pair. I got them. So I looked, and then there was obviously the New Balances, but then I saw the Nike Air Monarchs, and I'm like, the name, the look,
You have to.
it's just so much better. And now he just wears them all the time. Speaking of height, I think it adds an inch or two to him, too.
Probably.
I think he's got a little bounce.
That's why he wears them so much.
Oh, God. So NHL Draft is coming up on Thursday, and I know you guys are big hockey guys, so wanted to just kind of chop it up with the boys here. What are you thinking coming in or going into Thursday?
So I think it's going to be interesting because I think there is the top 3 prospects. And then I think after that, you can make an argument for about 5 to 7 guys as the next best guy. So I think it's going to be real interesting. One, does someone try to move up in the top 3 to get one of the top 3 guys? And then after that, are teams in love with one of the next guys and move around in that, 4 to 10 range? Or is everyone kind of happy saying, I'm going to get someone I like regardless at this point?
There's a lot of teams that have multiple first-round picks this year, so excited to see if someone tries to package them up, move down, all that kind of stuff. But Dave and I were kind of talking about it earlier. I think I saw it somewhere on Twitter that Bob McKenzie's been right on his final draft projections on the first overall pick every year since 2008 or 2009. And he had Shane Wright as the number 1 pick every single ranking until his final ranking. And he changed it.
So who do you end up changing it to?
To Slavkovsky. I can't.
Tchaikovsky?
That's close enough.
No, Slavkovsky. I told him before I got on today. I did nice pronouncer. I went and looked at YouTube videos so I could pronounce these guys' last names.
If you just say it faster, you don't hear all the enunciation issues.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, that's true. Especially when you're breaking, just fire through it and people will believe you.
Yep.
So I guess my question for you guys is, like, looking back, Lafreniere, he was first pick 2020. His value is crazy when it comes to his autos. You look at Hughes in New Jersey, he was number 1 in 2019. His value with autos are through the roof. Which prospect do you feel, out of the top 3, which prospect do you feel will go number 1, and how do you think their value will be after the rookie year?
So hockey is an interesting breed for sure. It's widely collected, but it's probably obviously majority is
Major
collected
League?
in Canada.
Major League.
Yeah.
Major League?
But it's collected in Canada. So Canadian skaters typically have the most resale value. So obviously you've seen with the last couple draft picks, it's definitely something that I would say, or North American skaters have the most value. You see a lot of the guys that have gone first that are from overseas, they just typically don't carry that value. So even if Slavkovsky goes first, I would.
You're doing great,
expect
sweetie.
Shane
You're doing
Wright
great.
to have a little bit more value in the secondary market, in my opinion.
And just to hit on what you said, like, I did do a comp for Darlene, who was number 1. And I think the fact that, he is from overseas and he's a defenseman, he doesn't really gain the big stats like the goals and assists. I think that hurt Darlene too, because his value wasn't much at all.
And then even before that, Nico Hischier really has just his value just typically wasn't really there because he just wasn't that guy. I mean, obviously you get guys. Alex Ovechkin came in and just absolutely tore it up.
Right.
He's going to have value because he's so good. But you look at some of the guys that in the past that have come up from overseas or in the top couple of picks, and their values kind of just fall off. Patrick Laine is one of them. Great player, just his values typically slowly start to dive off.
What I'm curious is when I finally make the trip overseas to visit our David Adams store over there in Roermond. Is
Nice
it
plug.
Yeah.
Good plug. This guy gets it. He's a pro.
Is it different? Because you really don't see, if you go, they have their own stuff there. If you go over there, it might be completely different.
Yeah, it might be.
It might, you might have the European players with a super high premium.
Right.
You might see cards over there that you never see in the States because they all stay there. So that's one thing, hopefully spring next year, head out there and check it out. And I think it'd be interesting to see the differences in the markets.
It's also interesting with hockey is football, basketball, these guys get drafted, and like we said about Holmgren, he's literally already playing minutes covered by ESPN and things like that. Like, he is in the headlines all the time.
He's got the hype.
Exactly. And these guys will play game 1. And it's like, you're probably only going to get a handful of guys, if not less, that are going to play game 1 in the NHL. So it's a little tougher, similar to how baseball is, but it's almost like a kind of happy medium because you do get a typical handful of guys that kind of make that jump.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say, though. I think that's a great point because with hockey, I think in terms of collecting, you get these guys that are going to be NHL ready, and I feel like they're very, very, like, coming out of the draft. They're like, we need these guys' cards. We need whether they're going to be good or not. I feel like hockey is very much a hype before the season, before they even touched the ice. I feel like that was like with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Nail Yakupov, like, before these guys even played 10 games, small sample size. People are firing away trying to get their cards.
Hobo Fuzz brings up a good point in the chat. He said, I feel like if Shane Wright, that is, goes first and gets major ice time being Canadian and getting drafted by a Canadian team, it will be a perfect storm of value.
Yeah. I would 100% agree. If you already look at the Canadians, the Maple Leafs, the Canadian teams in general have a little bit more value. So, like you said, perfect storm. You're talking about a guy that's been hyped for the last 4 or 5 years as the guy in this draft, going to a Canadian market, going first overall. I think that's the best case scenario for the hockey market.
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that the Canadians have the first overall pick, especially with the draft being in Montreal,
Right.
is absolutely monstrous. This could be huge. And that's why, in my opinion, it'd be very difficult for them to go overseas with their first overall pick instead of Shane Wright.
So I guess the big question is, go around the table here. Who's going number 1 Thursday?
I think it's got to be Shane Wright.
Shane Wright?
I think heads will roll in Montreal if it's not Shane Wright.
Yeah.
I think it's Shane Wright, but I do want to note and get your opinion on too, like, there's some American players that aren't going to be nothing to sneeze at right now that are going to be first, Cooley, Gauthier. I know Nazar too.
Yeah.
So, I think it's going to be interesting. Do we see them garner a little bit of interest? Probably more if they go to a Canadian team.
Yeah. Well, I think Cooley is that guy that could be that under the radar. Obviously, no one's really considering him at 1, but I think he is an incredible talent. I think he's going to be one of the best players out of this draft.
Yeah, that's why I think at 3 with Arizona, I think that could be a moving point because I think there could be a chance that someone moves up to 3 to get Cooley. So I think it's interesting. Hockey in the U.S., if you look over the last couple of years, it's the best it's ever been when it comes to prospects.
Yeah.
It's exciting. A lot more programs in the U.S. pushing these hockey players out. Other than a guy named Jack Eichel, they've done, pretty good. Sorry, I had to throw that out there.
Hey, it's all right.
But
somebody had to say it.
Yeah, but look, Eichel and Matthews kind of really kickstarted this for the U.S.
It started with Patrick Kane.
Yeah, but there was a gap.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
For sure. Well, because Kane was what, 07, 08?
Yeah. Yep.
So
it took a while.
So going back to Eichel, the Sabres actually have 3 first-round picks. One is, I believe, the 9th pick or something like that. 9th, 16 for Eichel, and then they pick late at like 28, 29 for the Reinhardt trade. Do they keep all 3 picks?
It's interesting because I hockey first-round picks don't get tossed around like other sports,
like NBA or NFL.
But yeah, especially on draft day, they don't get tossed around like that. Because I think growth and drafting and development is such a vital part of the rebuild of an organization, even if you are a contender. But I would say, if I had to guess, I think they keep all 3. Because, the prospect pool that they have is pretty solid right now, and to add 3 first-rounders to it would just help this team tremendously. But I would say that I want them to take all 3.
I'm going to say they take their first 2 and they trade out of the 3rd one. And not only they're going to play, I think someone will end up moving up to that 3rd pick. The Sabres will end up moving back to the 2nd round.
Love the strategy of trading back and acquiring more. You got
absolutely.
more darts. If you got more darts to throw at the board, more likely that one of them hits. So
Yeah, I feel like we need Kevin Adams to pull a little bit of a Brandon Bean here, if you will.
Yep.
Yeah.
We need him to have that knowledge.
I wouldn't be wouldn't be opposed to trading them all for first-round picks for next year with the attempt at Connor Bedard, but.
That's right, because do you feel like the class will be a little deeper next year than it will be this year?
I don't know if deeper is the answer. I think it's, they're comparing Connor Bedard to McDavid. So this guy is, he is just an absolute stud. So
Tyler's starting the hype already. You guys find your Connor Bedard cards.
Oh, they're already out there. So
see, he's itching right now. Yeah. I could tell.
So another tank for McDavid scenario.
Hey, if one lottery ball goes another way, we're having a different conversation right now.
I think that whole lottery conversation is one for another day.
Yeah.
One last thing I want to leave you guys with, knowing what we do know about the names we've thrown around in that, do you guys have a sleeper in terms of the hobby who, might surprise some people as one that's going to come out hot and be a real collectible person with a high ceiling?
In this year's draft?
Yeah.
It's a tough one. I really like Cooley. He's like one of the guys. I hate to say it, but if he does go to Arizona, it kind of hurts his value.
Yeah.
Just playing for the Coyotes, especially playing in a
5,000
college
seater.
arena. Another conversation.
We'll have you guys back on. We can do this all day.
You got to go with the best name in the draft.
Oh, Cutter?
Cutter.
Cutter.
Best name in
Cutter.
the draft.
Absolutely love it.
You're gonna have people buy his cards just because of his name.
Yeah. It's like,
Give me
it's
like
like
a-
Blaze Jordan. Of the
Yeah,
other
absolutely.
stuff.
Exactly.
Cutter gives me like a Zegras vibe kind of though
Yeah.
too, like kind of laid back,
Yeah, he's
that kind of guy.
Yeah. Hey, if he turns out like Zegras, then good thing for anybody that drafts that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure. But
One last thing in the chat too, Dr. Steve Brule 24. Does DeBrincat get moved during the draft?
So we had this conversation yesterday about what it would cost to get Alex DeBrincat to come to Buffalo. With 3 first-round picks, you have the firepower to do it, but I don't think he's coming to Buffalo. But I would say no. That's my first guess, but there's absolutely a chance.
You're solid on the no.
I would say it's not.
Listen, I like to be a betting man. I'm gonna say yes just to go against Tyler.
We'll put some odds on that later.
Great. You know what? I love that reasoning. Thank you for that. Thank you for backing that up with that.
He does it all the time.
And then Blink Fing Poop. I love that name. I'm gonna say it. The Sens gonna take it 7? I don't know.
Oh, one guy that I really like in that range is I really like Savoy. I think he might be a little bit later than that, but he's one guy that I really, really like. Hoping the Sabres can snag him with their first pick.
Very nice.
Yeah, I have no idea honestly. Like I said, that 4 to 10 is such a
Toss up.
mix that
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. I don't know enough about the Senators roster right now.
Yeah.
To say. I know they will not be taking a goalie. I can say that pretty safely. I don't think there'll be a goalie in the first round.
Yeah.
There-
Yeah.
I think there was one in the projections, but
Brennan, right? I think it's Brennan, correct?
yeah.
Hey, another lunch bet. I'll say no goalie in the first round.
You hear that lunch? You
Hey,
hear
there's
that
been-
lunch? We're getting lunch bets
There's
on
been
here now.
goalies in the first round the last few years.
You realize now too, this is like gonna live on YouTube, so you have to go back to this.
I know. That's
Oh, yeah.
Are you taking the bet though?
Wait. Oh, I'll take the bet. Absolutely.
Oh,
No,
you heard it here.
You live with a handshake.
Hey, so this is gonna be like, what's his name that said that Steph Curry will never ever win another championship, and as soon as they won this past championship, they put it right there, just hammering them.
Listen,
I think with Kirk.
I was also the one who said that Giannis was never going to win a championship. So
Yep. Well, you lost that bet.
yeah,
too.
I was wrong.
All right, the chat's loving you guys, so I feel like I got to get interactive with them. They want to know too. Cheerful Frogman says nothing, doesn't know anything about the NHL, but he did watch the playoffs. Loves Cale Makar now. When do I buy his card? He asks.
You already missed your opportunity.
Ship is sailed.
I would say in about 8 weeks,
Yeah.
10 weeks. You're
Yeah.
gonna get a little bit of a lull in the off season where it's gonna come down.
Wait till football season goes crazy. Once it's like 2 weeks away from football season, that's the biggest lull for hockey, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's probably
Yeah.
one of the best times to buy hockey. It's cyclical. It really is. It's like as soon as a season ends, you get a little bit of hype right towards the end, especially a cup winner,
Yeah.
and then it slowly starts to fade off, and then obviously it picks back up leading into the season. So you got to find that sweet spot.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough because Makar showed that he is on that same level as your McDavid. The McDavid of defensemen.
Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead, sorry.
I say he is the exception to the rule for a defenseman selling.
Exactly.
Well said.
That's what I was gonna say. Is you go back to defensemen not selling, and you look at even Adam Fox last year had a Norris year, and the guy is a stud, and he plays in New York, but his values have slowly started to dip off, and then you look at Makar, who is just the absolute. I think he's the best defenseman in the NHL right now, and he's still, 24. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
There you go. I think that's a good way to end it, boys. You've done your time. We appreciate you guys coming on.
Now
Did
get
you have
out.
fun?
Yeah, of course. We always like talking sports. That's
Yeah.
what we do off camera anyway. So.
Yeah,
Right. So why not do it on camera, right?
exactly. We probably have the same amount of bets if we were at our decks as well. So
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say now these ones are forever
Yep,
going to
yep,
be
yep.
saved. So thank you again to Tom and Tyler. We really appreciate it. So earlier we talked about Cutter Gauthier. Speaking of Cutter Gauthier, we actually had the chance to open up some Hit Parade hockey product with him. I got a chance to do it. It was a lot of fun while the combine was in town. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at that right now?
maybe.
How about now? Hey guys, this is Troy LaCastro. We are down in downtown Buffalo as the NHL Combine goes on through the rest of the week, Saturday to be exact. And we got Cutter Gauthier over here. He was nice enough to take time out of his day to open some cards with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, absolute pleasure. So, how's your time in Buffalo been so far?
Yeah, it's been a great experience. You know, it's a great city. Looking out these windows, you got great views. I'm excited to be here with the old friends and teammates of mine.
Nice. So, without further ado, the folks over at Hit Parade, as you can see, we got a little branding here and some our trusty Cutter. They gave us their product. It is Hit Parade The Rookies Graded Hockey Edition. This is Series 8. So 10 boxes in here.
Sweet.
We'll go ahead and open them up.
Let's do it.
I'll do a little rip and then I'll have you kind of do the reveal and we'll talk about it and, you know, see what we get, right?
Let's do it.
All right. Box, I'll show that on our other camera. I like to go from the bottom,
Okay.
but you got to shimmy these things out, and sometimes they're not as cooperative as they probably should be.
Right on.
Right? So we'll see how we do here. Really pack them in tight. So what's the week been like for you so far? Busy schedule, man. Have you had time to kind of?
Yeah, it hasn't been too bad. You know, I had about 16 interviews, so it's not an overload schedule. I'm just glad to be here. You know, it's something we look forward to growing up. It's just excited to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. So growing up, obviously big hockey fan. You know, who was your team growing up?
Yeah, so in the desert, it actually wasn't the Coyotes. It was
Really?
the Pittsburgh Penguins. Yeah, you know, I love watching Sidney Crosby as a young kid, and it followed with the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah, and then the time you were growing up, they were actually just getting hot.
They were, yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool to watch them win back-to-back Stanley Cups. Being such a big fan too.
Yeah, it must have been nice. Here in Buffalo, we're still awaiting the Stanley Cup, so you got to see
one
through it.
day. I'm sure it'll come one day.
All right, so we'll start with box 74 of 100 here.
Okay.
You can see our nice reflection there.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So here we got it sealed twice here. So we'll cut there, and there, and a little one here.
Shocker open.
Chucker open. We'll slide her open, and then I'm gonna let you take it from here. So just
Okay.
pop her open.
Yeah, we'll see what we got.
Yeah, let's see who we got. Hopefully I did a good enough job.
We got Alexi Lafreniere.
Come on, Laffy, right off the rip there.
First overall pick, I believe it was 2020. Pretty fun watching him on TV. And he's had a pretty good playoff series so far.
Yeah, what'd you think of the game last night?
Yeah, it was an exciting game. I went to bed a little earlier, had an early wake up, but I got to watch the first two periods and he was pretty well. It was a fun game, high scoring, something you don't really see too often in playoff hockey.
Yeah, no, usually I feel like it's a gritty, you know, like
Yeah.
nice 2-1,
Exactly,
3-2, right?
yeah.
3-1. But yeah, that was an absolute blast, honestly.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we need, you know, obviously that that Edmonton and Avs series is pretty wild too.
Yeah, that was a fun series for sure.
So we'll see who's gonna. I don't know who do you think is gonna take it in that battle of McKinnon and McDavid.
I don't know. I think the Avs had a little more experience with it, and I think they'll take it. But you know, McDavid and Draisaitl are having some crazy good playoff series right now, so it'll be good to see if they make it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, up next, let's see who we got here. little stuck there.
A little stock.
A little stuck over there.
Oh yeah, you guys see. Look, you're
No
a pro.
worries, no worries at
This
all.
guy gets it.
We got Aaron Ekblad.
Wow.
One of the big leaders, big guns on the Florida Panthers run this year. Did a great series. It was fun to watch them play. Definitely down south team.
Look at that flex on it stick
Yeah,
too.
look at that. It must be 60 or something. He's leaning into that thing big time.
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
interesting note about this one too. It's actually a black label, which are super tough.
Oh, really?
So the VGS back end usually comes out like if it's a 10, it'll be gold up there.
Okay.
But like the black label is like this
Black's
card,
pretty cool, too.
literally considered like perfect.
Really?
Perfect. So that's like a perfect card.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'm glad we pulled that today. There you go.
So how you gonna feel when you finally appear on a Young Guns yourself?
Yeah.
What do you think?
That's something that follows along with the course, and I think it's something that's pretty exciting. You know, especially as the young one's career continues to proceed. I'm just looking forward to something pretty cool like that.
Now, did you yourself did you collect growing up some hockey cards? Or?
Yeah. With my dad playing pro, I'd always try to pull him, whether it was in a card pack or whatever it may be. So I have this big binder. I'm sure I still have today under my bed. That's collecting dust right now, but I've got some nice cards in there, and it's always fun to go look back and see who you got.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I'm not mistaken, you, because of where your dad was playing at the time, you were actually born in Sweden.
I was, yeah. We played in the Swedish Elite League over in Skellefteå there, and that's where myself and my younger sister were born. So it's a pretty cool spot to be born and kind of pursue your dreams.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll go ahead and reveal the next one.
Third one on the day. Let's see who we got. Oh, we got a dual brothers here, eh? Jack Hughes and Quinn Hughes. Pretty cool. They both play at USA. I actually talked to both of them before coming out here in the gym. So both great guys. And excited to see what they do in their future careers.
Yeah, no, did you have any good advice from them or anything? Or you guys just kind of shooting the breeze?
Yeah, shooting the breeze. And I was talking to Jack actually about the combine. He didn't go to the combine because of whatever it was back in the day.
Yeah.
But he was just telling me to be myself, do what I do best. It was a pretty good conversation having such a young stud like himself.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, the brothers, yeah, they're tearing it up right now, both for their respective teams.
Exactly.
So that's huge. So I gotta say, I gotta admire the head of lettuce you got. I'm not gonna lie, that's some good flow.
Thank you.
That
I
you got going
appreciate
right
that.
now.
Thank you.
So if you're looking at the league now, past, present, who's got some of the best lettuce in the league, you think?
Yeah, I think a young one, Austin Matthews for sure. He's got a full head of hair, and it's curly too, and it looks good in his helmet. Yeah, he's always fun to watch.
Yeah.
He's a great player himself too.
Oh yeah, coming off a career year too, right?
Yeah, 60 goals. Last time it was in coach back in, I can't remember what year it was, but
It was early on in his career.
it was, yeah. Let's see who we got here.
He's got that nice muzzy too.
He
man.
does.
He's got
the
that pencil
mustache.
stash.
Yeah. He shaved it for that one good cause, but it's still back.
Right.
Oh, we got an old beauty. Sergei Fedorov.
Batter off with the score.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
It's a little before you were born.
Yeah,
right?
before I was born, but part of the Russian Five. I think I saw a documentary on that one. It was a fun documentary to see, and he was a big part of that Big Five team. That's awesome.
So it sounds like you're a student of the game.
Yeah, I'd say I'm a hockey nerd for sure.
Yeah.
Whether it's playing against team kids, knowing their flex, their stick, where they're going, I kind of know what's going on at all times, and I think that helps on the ice.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's huge. So, besides, I know before we turned the camera on, you and I were talking how you're a big Crosby guy.
I was, yeah.
But, besides that, do you have some other players that you kind of studied growing up that you would say you kind of modeled your game after or would like to?
Yeah, I think Shane Doan, being from Arizona and being such a legend he is, or whether it's watching him on TV or seeing him in person, it was definitely someone I like to model my game after. Just a legend in Arizona as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice one here.
Yeah.
Big reveal.
Mark Recchi. I think that's how you
Mark
pronounce it.
Recchi.
Recchi, right?
Yeah, look at him.
Wow.
So we are getting some old school guys. I told him before we came on, I'm like, we're gonna get people you know and that, but I guess we're throwing in some old ones.
That's not bad at all. Pittsburgh Penguins, one of my favorite teams growing up, so it's pretty cool to see a legend like that.
What big Penguins guy? What was your favorite jersey?
Favorite jersey? I'd have to say, I think it was 06, 07 Winter Classic jerseys, those baby blue ones.
Yeah.
Those are awesome.
Yeah.
Those are always fun to watch them playing that, especially such a legendary performance by Cindy Kid during that game too in shootout.
Oh yeah, they beat the Sabres during that, didn't they?
Yeah. It was a fun game. It was fun to watch.
Yeah. Now, have you yourself been a part of any outdoor games or anything like that?
Yeah, we actually played on Ford Field on my Honeybake team growing up.
Really?
Yeah, we played the Chicago Mission team. It was a fun time, playing in front of. It wasn't many people at the time, but on the football field, on a ice hockey rink, it was something pretty cool to do at such a young age.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah, that's an amazing experience.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, for sure.
That's a good time.
Of course. We're on 6 here. Let's see what we got in the roll gun.
I think so.
We got hometown hero. Some people might like him, some people might not. Jack Eichel.
Wow.
Yeah, so look at him right there. Rookie card too. But he went to BU, so I'm not too big of a fan of his school choice with me going to BC. But yeah, he's just stud in the league.
So how'd you land on BC? What kind of went into the decision process there?
Yeah, I think just the coaches, they're so professional and so nice to me over my recruiting process. And, after reaching out to them and seeing their campus in person, they've honestly blown me away. And the mix between the hockey and history and the academics is second to none. So definitely an organization I'd love to be a part of. That's why I'm
Yeah, amazing. That's an exciting time.
It is. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it.
Now back to Eichel too. I'm just curious, we saw what happened when he went over to Vegas. Obviously not the greatest outcome. Missed the playoffs, but what do you think we see from him next year?
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a comeback year. He was out a long time through injury.
Yeah.
Due to his knee, and I actually got to see him train a couple of times down in Plymouth, Michigan. It was pretty cool to see how professional he was. So I think he's gonna have a bounce back year. Coming from an injury.
Great. I think so too. Someone like that, I feel like you can't keep down for too long.
Exactly.
He'll bounce back for sure.
Yeah. Another old gun here. We got Ed Belfour. Ed Belfour. That's how you say it, right?
Yeah. No, you're doing great. It's perfect.
Look at those set of pads, eh? Those are some old ones.
How about that helmet too?
That is an old helmet. Look at that cage. It's bigger than the helmet itself.
Yeah, it's a nice bird cage right there.
Yeah, honestly.
I feel like it was like him and the Dominator used to have.
It looks like it, yeah. It's got like a kitchen muffin or whatever it is as a blocker too. But whatever worked back in the day to help him.
Yeah, right. Awesome. Guy is a legend, so he must have been doing something right with that equipment.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, yeah, it's amazing how advanced the equipment is.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, whether it's Bauer or CCM or whatever respect the brand, it's crazy how ahead of time it is now and all the technology that goes into it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got 3 left. We're getting kind of down to the wire here. What do you think so far?
I think it's pretty good. We got a couple old guns, we got a couple young ones, so it's a good experience overall.
Absolutely. Yeah, Hit Parade, they're usually loading up the products, with some fun stuff. Like if it's not top guys, you're absolutely still gonna see like just some fun names in general,
Yeah, it's a fun time for sure.
All right.
It's already sliding off.
Perfect. That means I cut it good this
There you
time.
go. Ryan O'Reilly
Oh.
on the Avs. Look at that one. That's a little bit of an old school. Look at that Bauer trig he's got.
Which I forget about some stuff like I forget
Yeah,
O'Reilly on the Avs. It's like it seems like such a long time
it
ago.
does. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even know he played on the Avs. This is my first time seeing him in an Avs uniform. That's actually crazy.
You hear that? First time?
Yeah, first
First time seeing O'Reilly in an Avs uniform. First time for everything.
Yeah, honestly, that's great to see.
That's perfect. Love that.
Yeah.
Is there any other players like growing up, like you calling yourself, not me, yourself a hockey nerd?
Yeah.
Is there anybody that you're like, oh man, I totally forgot he even played for that team or like in that uniform.
I mean, I'm sure there's a couple, none off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I think Ryan Whitney. I think he was kind of all over the place, and I think he ended off his career with the Coyotes. And it was always fun watching him play. Gila Arena down there, and it was always a fun time.
Which is true. So like speaking of Whitney, so in like growing up in the desert, so
Yeah.
you got a little bit of the spinning chick with the boys down there too. 'Cause, like Bills too, right?
Yeah, Paul Bisnet. Yeah, I think I bought one of his merch when it first came out. So it's pretty cool to see how well he's doing right now.
Yeah, right. He's such an electric personality.
Yeah, he's got a great time. He always has a fun time whether it's on the podcast or on NHL Network. He's always laughing, cracking a smile.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. So let's see, second to last package. Hopefully, pull someone good. Taylor Hall.
I almost thought that was gonna be like I saw the colors and I was like,
Yeah,
oh.
almost. I mean, another first overall pick. He's doing pretty well there. He's had a great year so far in Boston. See them have a great run, especially against Carolina.
Yeah. Well, I remember that run of years there too, where they had him,
Yeah.
Nugent Hopkins, and I think Yakupov. They had
All
three.
first overall. Yeah, it's crazy. You know, Edmonton's got a lot of young talent. Wouldn't be surprised if they won a Stanley Cup in the years to come.
Oh yeah, I mean they looked good this playoffs. I mean I feel like back against the wall.
Yeah, honestly, that's what I would have thought too. At the beginning of the season, this outstanding performance by McDavid and Draisaitl. It's really fun to watch.
I'm interested to see if Mike Smith gets exposed. Though.
He might. I'm not too sure. I actually known him when he lived down in Arizona when he played on the Coyotes.
Yeah.
My dad would do goalie skates for him, so it was pretty cool how the relationship lasted and how well he's doing in the NHL right now. So it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. A great year for him and
Yeah.
like to be able to go so far. So obviously hopeful for continued success there.
Exactly.
All right, last one.
Last package of the day.
See
Let's
what
see
we
who
got.
we got. Hopefully someone special. We got a young gun, Matthew Tkachuk.
Yeah, that's a good one. Then.
Yeah, it is. You know, brothers with Brady. He skated with us a couple times this year at the U.S. National Program. So it's pretty cool to see how him in the stand selling with all those beers. I think it was Budweiser. It looked like he was having a good time. So
Every pocket was filled. There's
Every
not
pocket,
one
yeah.
pocket that was empty.
it's awesome to show that support, especially to your brother who's also in the NHL. Who also had a really good year this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good way to end off.
That is. I think that's a nice way to cap it off. That's a great way to say it. So, Cutter, I really appreciate you taking your time out of the day. Did you have a good time?
I did. This is something I haven't done before, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your time in Buffalo. For us, make sure you are following, liking, subscribing to the comment, any of that stuff. And we'll see you next time.
Take care, guys.
So pretty awesome moment for you. Just how was it? How was it talking and ripping with Cutter?
It was a lot of fun. If you couldn't tell though, that was my first one of the day. So I don't know why these kids are like 18, 19, but they're about to be playing on the biggest stage you can in hockey. So I was nervous. I'll be honest. Like I'm starting to like ease into things now, and I'm getting better. But I was nervous with them, and so as you can see, I was red as hell. I was sweating. I was glistening. I was just like super gross, but it was a lot of fun. We did a couple other ones, but he was such a nice kid. Like unbelievably nice kid from start to finish, even when the cameras were off. So great experience. It was a lot of fun. After him, I kind of eased into the other ones, but obviously Cutter, nice guy, and it's one of those things where we did have such a good interaction that I hope nothing but the best for him. And, I hope, and at the end there, I'm like, comment, subscribe to the comment. And I messed everything up, but
It's okay.
nonetheless, it was a lot of fun. And actually,
You're still loved in the chat. As you
Yeah?
can see, it's your cue.
oh, my cue there. Yeah, I wanted to, so real quick, two things I want to do. One, if you did watch that video, well, look at that. I've got the Hit Parade case here of the Rookies 2021-2022 graded hockey edition, Series 8. These are the cards that I opened with Cutter. So the good news is we are going to be giving these away.
Sweet.
How to enter. In the chat, on Twitch or YouTube in the comments. Please leave who you think will be drafted #1 overall in Thursday night's NHL draft and why. So who you think is going to get drafted first and why you think they're going to get drafted first. One lucky chatter in Twitch or commenter on YouTube is going to walk away with the entire case.
Hey, what more can you ask for?
Right. I mean, right? They were touched by me and the Carter guy, but they were touched, and Cutter, but they were touched by me. No, I'm just kidding. So Cutter and I opened these personally. So you saw the video of who is in this. If you're interested, make sure you are chatting and you are commenting on YouTube who you think will be drafted first and why. So before we get into our box rip, I want to catch up on the chat here because the chat's been pretty active for the last 15 minutes or so that you were watching that video there. First, Big Joe from Hit Parade across the street. He's talking about Tom and Tyler, who were just here a little bit ago. He says, these guys look like they go to the same barber, and the barber should be fired. Ouch.
Darn.
Kind of mean.
Why you gotta be so rude?
One day I'll be living in a big old city, and all you're ever gonna be is mean. T Swift. That's the only Taylor Swift song I like. 100%. Joe also says, I like when mom dresses them in the same outfits. Wish they were wearing tight black t-shirts though.
Good Lord.
Joe,
Get back to work.
What's your fascination with Tyler and Tom? Yeah, get back to work. What are you doing? Are you still even watching? Let's keep going here, though. Is that brake cam really wedged in a blue Yeti mic mount, Troy? I'm disappointed. That was Hobo Fuzz. Not my idea. Tyler's idea. Sorry, I'm going to throw him right under the bus. I want to be the one to look good, right? Tyler thought that was the appropriate thing to do. We did it. It worked out in the end. You saw. I got it. Who else we got here? Hobo Fuzz, chirping aside, must have been a really cool experience to crack product with him like this. It really was. I hope for another opportunity to do this again, for David and I to do this again. It was a lot of fun. Cheerful Frogman says, I'm not done chirping. Troy looks like he got some serious sun ahead of this video. It was hot in the hotel room, and I was nervous. Hence why I was beet red. And you want to know something? Stevens will tell you, that was with color correction. So, that's... Yeah, Darth Yoda says, nice lettuce. That is for sure. Good lettuce on Cutter. I hope he never cuts his hair. That's beautiful.
You know what that hair would look good in? A nice blue and gold Sabres sweater.
I knew where that was coming. Or I knew where that was going. What else we got here? Billdozer. Music matches the picture in the background. They should start moving any second. If you were looking at the beautiful hotel scenery there, if you will. The what's the word I'm looking for?
Aesthetic?
The aesthetics. Yes, thank you. Todd Supreme says, this guy makes me feel old. Belfort wasn't that long ago. That's funny. Chelsea Dagger, that was sweet. Nice to see his appreciation for the game. Very cool interview, T-Pucks. Yeah, couldn't agree more. Nervous, Hollywood Troy. Hollywood Troy does get nervous sometimes when the bright lights are on. Not so much anymore. All right, I'm getting to wrap it up, so let's move on. We've got a box break for you guys, so we're just giveaway after giveaway after giveaway.
You get a card. You get a card. You get a card. Everyone gets cards.
We're Oprah. So what we've got today for you is some 2020, 2021 Stature hockey. Well, obviously, in appreciation and preparation for the NHL Draft.
It's fitting.
In honor of the NHL Draft coming up on Thursday, that is what we're doing here. Yeah, it is fitting.
Oh, are you missing something?
I am.
Oh, yeah, you're missing.
Meerkat. Dearest Meerkat. There it is. Hey, the Meerkat guarantee right there. All right. Let's do it. One pack for each of us. I'll cut this open, and I'll give David my cutter here. I think you're looking for 1 to 2 autographs, I believe. So I'll let you... There we go.
I love a slide.
All right, guys. Here we go. Pack. Gone. Let's see what autos we get here. You want a close up on my notes? Look, you can see all my cross outs and that in the rundown. There you go. There's just a little behind the scenes for you, a little BTS and what I got going on. All right. Here we go. Careful. Careful. Oh, and by the way, to win these cards, you must chat in Twitch or comment on YouTube the word flow. So that is today's word of the day. The key word is flow. Flow. That is also in honor of the NHL Draft and Cutter Gauthier there.
And
All right.
And Quinn Ewers.
And Quinn Ewers, of course. It's been a flow day. All right, Eichel. Breadman. Oh, Ottinger. I like that. Out of 399. Ottinger, rookie there for the Dallas Stars. Lindstrom, rookie out of 399. Ovi out of 99. Nice there. Some nice numbered cards. And that rat, Brad Marchand out of 175. Hits should be after this. Oh, I thought that was somebody else. Okay, out of 49, rookie Reliance of Tobias Bjornfot. There you go. You can.
Nice.
Yeah, nice auto for sure. Out of 99 there, rookie auto of Tobias Bjornfot.
Look, I know it's our first pack, but it's
Ooh.
also last pack magic, right?
Last pack, that's true. First pack, David's got the last pack. And then we've got a veteran auto of Mark Stone.
Stony.
Stoney. And then we've got Gravitas. Gravitas of Connor Hellebuck. All right, so there you have it. And now we are going to go to David. David,
There we go.
what's your pack,
I am
brother?
nervous
Why are you nervous?
because we pulled a 101 last episode. We need to keep the hype going.
I mean, we got to keep the magic going, but they can't all be 101s, you know what I mean?
If I'm, able to open this freaking thing. See, I need nails. I'm so bad at this. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, see, he's got it. He's learning, guys.
Also, apologies. We do not have my overhead camera for today, but I will do my best. All right. John Klingberg. Stars.
Flow.
Brodeur. Devils.
Nice.
Nice little legend there.
Not a St. Louis card?
No. We got Arthur Kaliev out of 399 with the Kings. So nice little. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, a little rookie
unblocking
there.
it. Nice little.
Oh, hey, close your laptop a little bit.
Close my laptop
Yeah, that way the folks at
so they
home
can.
see what you got going on there.
Here, I'll
There you go. Perfect.
Ooh, we got a Hasek Sabres out of 75.
Out of 75.
Yes, out of
Nice.
75.
Love that.
Not
Is that an
bad.
auto?
No,
Oh,
not
I thought it was an auto, the way it looked.
Artem Zub of the Senators out of 175. So that's a rookie. BT Dubs.
Nice.
Rookie out of 175. Gary Shevers out of 149, it says.
Yeah, a lot of
there's
numbered
that.
cards in this. That's what I like.
Ilya Sorokin out of 45.
Oh, out of 45.
We do have an auto here. Alec Regula, 167 out of 199. Rookie for the Blackhawks.
All right.
And last but not least, Grant Fuhr of the Oilers. Not numbered or anything, but pretty cool.
Is that an auto too? No?
No
Oh.
auto. Just the
So-
one auto.
Interesting. So one auto out of his, two out of mine. I know that's an on-average situation, and I've done some breaks of the stature before, and I have noticed that some boxes have two, some boxes have one. Some have the patch autos too. So obviously, very nice there. A lot of numbered cards, though, is what I like. So remember, one YouTube commenter or Twitch chatter is going to be bringing home both boxes, all the hits. If you comment the word flow, make sure you're commenting flow. All right, last little thing we want to do here is actually, let me remind you of another giveaway. So remember on Monday for the 4th of July episode, we did tell you that we are doing a $500 giveaway for frontline workers and obviously active military and veterans. Nominate them. Tell us why you're nominating them. Frontline workers, veterans, and active military that are card collectors. Let us know their story. Tell us why you are nominating them for this giveaway. And one lucky person is going to get $500 credit to dacardworld.com. Make sure you're putting that in the YouTube comments on last episode. So that would have been episode 10.
Right.
It was on Monday, the July 4th special. Underneath there, nominate somebody and please put why you are nominating them for the $500 credit. All right? I think that's it. And then for this break, remember flow. And then, of course, for the cutter giveaway, make sure underneath here you are putting who's going to go number 1 overall, who you think in the draft, and why. I think that's good.
Sounds like a plan.
So getting back to the draft, though, you and I thought it was interesting. NHL, they posted on Instagram that had a bunch of the players that are going to be in this draft, a bunch of the prospects, their signatures. Right. And they said if you could pick one person based on their signature, who would you pick?
Yeah, this was difficult because there was a lot of good autos. There was a couple bad ones, but we're going to get to it. Should we show the people?
Yeah. Dave, if you could pull them up, we have the series of the signatures that NHL posted on their Instagram. If we could take a look at that.
So there's Cutter.
That one.
There's
Cutter right there.
You know, nothing crazy, a little scribbly, but not the worst. We'll get to the worst ones we've seen. This is one of my favorites. David Goyette.
I like this one.
Just because my name's David too, and the way he does the D is very interesting.
Yeah, I think you got a good point there. I mean, the number 88 there, and I love the huge D that surrounds the whole signature itself. Mm-hmm. That's actually pretty cool. Who's next there? Okay, this is Joachim Kemmel. Not so much.
Yeah, not the best.
No, just a quick J. I mean, I can make out the J, the cursive J, and then the number. Short but simple, but not up my alley. And then here we were talking about him earlier, Slavkovsky. This is kind of nice.
Yeah, I mean it's very level. It seems like in certain areas, but not the best, not the worst.
No, it's kind of nice. Logan Cooley, what do you think about this one?
This one's interesting. It's funny how he goes from like thin to thick, real quick.
Yeah,
but
I'm assuming. The more I look at it, the more I'm assuming they had them do this with their finger on an iPhone.
That's what I'm thinking too.
So we have to take that, I feel like, a little bit into account. But Logan here, I don't know if you've ever passed a Lord and Taylor store, but it looks like the Lord and Taylor logo almost.
Honestly, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
From the malls. Who's next? Matt Savoy. Now this one, just big. He's taking up the whole page.
Yeah, it's just too wild for me.
You think it's too wild?
Look how big it is. The arrows from the Instagram post are still in there.
I know. Yeah, I saw that. But for me, if I want somebody's auto and they're gonna take the time to sign it for me, give me big. Give me a nice long signature like that. I like Savoy's. He might be a front runner for me so far. Who's next?
This is my favorite.
Oh, Maverick Lamoureux.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah, it's pretty crispy. I'm not gonna lie.
That looked like that could be on the front of a jersey, actually.
Yeah.
A written out logo.
Truthfully, that's the type of signature I feel like I would see at the corner of a historic painting.
Yeah.
Or something like that. That just looks crispy.
I think we got a couple more. We'll show. Oh yeah, Pavel.
Oof.
Mitnikov.
Next.
We just skipped over that one. And then of course Shane Wright here.
Man. The possible number 1 pick with the possible mystery relevant auto.
Yeah. I mean, he's another one. We have to take into account these are probably done with a finger on an iPhone.
Right.
But another one, big, and I like when people put their names, or excuse me, the numbers. I like when people put the numbers. But yeah, go to Simon Yemek.
Oh man,
I think that's just a last name.
That's got to be just a last name.
But that doesn't even look like a C at the end. That looks like a check mark or a V.
I mean, I see the C, but he must just just scroll up.
Oh yeah, I get like barely.
Yeah.
I think that was it. Was that it, Dave?
Yeah, that's
yeah,
it.
that was it. So, all right, if you were gonna choose one guy in the draft just based off that, what do you think?
Maverick. 100%. It's the crispiest auto that we looked at.
You're going Maverick?
Yeah.
I think I'm going Goyette.
They're the two best. They were my top two.
I love that Goyette. I don't know. I just something about the D. Like if I had that on a piece of memorabilia
Yeah.
or a card, I just think that would be the nicest looking and really nice to display, like a good look.
Mm-hmm. So we talked about the nice signatures.
We did. But it got us thinking, right?
It got us thinking, what are the worst autos that we've seen? You want to get into yours there, kind sir?
Yeah, I'll do my first one here. And so this one is interesting though. Dave, I'd like you to pull up the Rajon Rondo one, if you don't mind. Look at this. Literally RR. But here's the funny thing. When I was looking on eBay, or not even eBay, when I was looking on Google, and I was just like, Rajon Rondo auto. I think early on he had a really bad just RR, but then it looks like later on he at least started to put like R scribble. So I think the RRs might have been the early one, but those were pretty ugly.
Cheerful Frogman in the chat says initial SIGs are hot garbage.
Talk that talk, baby. Talk that talk.
So what was number 2 for you? Or do you want to get to one of mine?
Go ahead with one of yours.
Okay.
We'll bounce.
So I don't want to get to my worst one yet. I'm going to go, Dave, pull up the baseball player. People are going to be mad at me for this one.
I was mad at you for this
Look,
one.
Ichiro is a legend, but what?
I mean, what do you want him to do though? When's the last time do you think he had to sign his name in English?
I know that, but it's just like it's scribble.
I love it.
Truthfully, you know what?
Ichiro.
You know what would be sweet? Like, look, never mind.
Hobo Fuzz says, "Okay, David, sign your name in Japanese." And Cheerful Frogman says, "Britney Spears meme, leave Ichiro alone."
Whatever.
Ooh, he's getting
You know
a little
what?
testy over there. You gonna die on that hill?
Next episode, I'm gonna come in with an autograph of my name in Japanese. I'm writing it down.
You guys heard it. You better write it down because now the chat is gonna hold you to it. You know that, right? All right, my last one. If you could pull it up, Dave. This thing is ugly as hail. Vernon Morency. Literally a check mark. And I think he's famous for this. Like I feel like I wasn't the only one searching bad autographs and finding that guy.
It looks like a putter.
Yeah, in a way. You know what it kind of looks like? An EKG. When you're looking at someone's like boop. When you're looking at someone's heart rate there.
Yeah.
Awful.
Oh my god.
Oh, Wahoo says you have to sign it live on the show in Japanese. No bring in autos. Hobo Fuzz says, "Come on, Fernand. You would give the UPS guy a better SIG on a package confirmation."
That's possible.
All right, who's your second one?
The worst. The absolute
You love
worst. The worst. Throw it up.
He loves this one.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Debo S. Oh my good lord. CD Lamb's is terrible tone. I will say it. And I'm a CD Lamb guy. But when I was over at Hit Parade, one of the first cards I pulled just out of the mail and everything was a Debo Samuel auto. And I'm like, this isn't an auto. This is a print.
Yeah.
This is your name in print.
Right.
And,
he never learned cursive, maybe.
And you know what? I love Debo. This is not me ratting on him.
You just like a little more effort?
Look, you want to see a good signature?
Oh, boy. Is this Japanese?
No. That is a good signature.
Oh, all right. You want to play
can't
that
see it.
game? Look at this thing.
Debo. Here, you know what? Look
at this. I am taking my time. If anybody wants an autograph, you let me know. I'll sign anything.
Here.
Well, not anything. I shouldn't say that.
Here's my
Look at that.
Here's my
Clean.
Debo Samuel auto. David Y.
David. Now, our resident expert on just all things sports, I feel like at this point, I want to get his input before we go off the air. So, Meerkat, what's some dicey autographs that you've seen over time?
There's a lot going on right now. You brought up the Rondo earlier with just the initials. You see that a lot more nowadays with these younger guys. Like Jonathan Kuminga's one just signs the JK, but with those initial autos, I feel like you see those a lot more earlier in a player's career because, they get heat from the hobby, their agents, other people saying like, hey man, people aren't happy with this auto, spice it up a bit. You're a rookie, you don't really have a set auto. They give you thousands of sheets of stickers to sign. It's understandable, but you see players step it up sometimes, and sometimes you see players step it down. Some of those hockey autos we saw were really intricate.
Yeah.
Now imagine signing 1,000 pucks multiple times, throughout the months leading after the draft. It's a lot, so you're going to see autos, fluctuate all over the place.
Cheerful Frogman agreed with you. He said Jonathan Kuminga as well.
Yeah, just the JK up there. Great prospect. I love Kuminga, but you got to step that auto up, bro.
Yeah. See, you heard it here. And, I think we were talking CD Lamb. He's questionable in making the list. And I know, like you said, to your point where, players are tasked with signing hundreds and hundreds of these cards or sticker sheets that they're sent. There's the whole thing with CD that he wasn't getting his stuff back to Leaf. So that finally got resolved. So now people have their CD autos, whether they're happy with it or not. But yeah, and then Cheerful Frogman says LaMelo Balls is a microwave diaper as well. There you go. I think that's a good way to leave it. So real quick, reminder on the giveaways. We got like 3 going on simultaneously. For the case that we open with Cutter Gauthier, let us know in the chat or on YouTube who you think's going to go out number 1 overall and why. Number 2, the break we just did of Stature Hockey in honor of the NHL Draft, in the chat or on YouTube. I'm like having a brain fart now. Make sure you are commenting flow. Like Cutter's flow. Beautiful head of lettuce there. And then the third one that we are extending to next week on episode 10, the July 4th special, in the YouTube comments, please nominate a frontline worker or an active member of the military or a veteran. Tell us why you are nominating them, and you will enter them in a chance, or you will enter them for a chance to get a $500 credit. I think that's it, right?
Are you sure there's not one more?
I don't know. That was a marathon episode, eh?
Hey, continue to like, subscribe.
Yeah, we're definitely at the end. We're like, yeah, make sure you're tuning in right after Jersey John will be on. If you're on Facebook, Steve is in Cooperstown. He's at our David Adams Cooperstown store. He'll be doing some baseball breaks from there today. 1 p.m. he's going live on Facebook. Jersey John will be live all day on our Twitch. And then, of course, Pete later on tonight.
Yep. Make sure you check in.
Yeah. And don't forget, you can find us now, too, on Apple and Spotify, so you can listen to the audio if you don't have time to watch the Twitch stream or the YouTube. You can listen to it on your ride or maybe when you're cracking some packs over the speakers.
You said it all.
Couldn't have said it better myself, eh?
Yeah, I don't want to talk anymore because, now people are asking what's in my cup, so.
Cheerful Frogman, real quick. This is Savio Vega. I'm going to AEW in Rochester tonight, so I figure it's sports entertainment, right? Pro wrestling, kind of a sport.
Just a quick update. We have no Pete tonight.
No Pete tonight. Thanks. Appreciate it, whoever. Wah, wah, wah. All right, it's time for us to go. Remember to tune in on Friday, and it's all about the chase.
It's all about the chase, ladies and gentlemen.
Boom! Oh, I almost got the camera. Top guys, out.